This is a Hartridge 2500 diesel test bench. It is really a variable speed motor which enables a fuel injection pump to be driven under tests that simulate engine operating conditions. The drive connects the test bench to, in this case, a diesel Kiki or Ziesel VE fuel injection pump as fitted to the Holden Gemini. On the end of the pump is the electric fuel shut-off solenoid, which is normally operated by the ignition switch. The pump is connected by a set of high-pressure pipes of specified dimensions to the test injectors. The fuel delivered is collected and measured in these calibrated glasses or graduates. The pressure of the fuel supply to the pump through this union is measured in this gauge. And the internal supply pump pressure is taken off through this line and read on this gauge. This is the international standard test plan, which specifies the procedures necessary to set and test this VE distributor type fuel injection pump. The first test is the timing device travel. The test bench is started and run up to 1400 RPM. The movement of the timing piston is measured by a gauge which is fitted on the side of the pump. Adjustment, if necessary, is by adding or removing shims under the spring, which is behind the cap of the timing device. The next test is the supply pump pressure. This is done with the bench running at 1400 RPM. The internal supply pump pressure is measured through this line and read on that gauge. Any adjustment is made by adjusting the end plug on the supply pump pressure regulating sleeve. The third test is the maximum fuel or full load delivery setting. With the test bench running at 1250 RPM, maximum fuel is adjusted by this screw. The fuel delivery over 1000 shots is measured in these graduates. The fourth test, idle speed adjustment, is carried out with the test bench running at 315 RPM. The throttle lever in the idle position, the fuel delivery is adjusted on the idle screw to give 6 to 9 cc's per 1000 shots. The next test is to check whether the injection pump output is sufficient at engine cranking speed. With the test bench running at 100 RPM and the throttle lever in the maximum speed position, a reading is taken over 1000 shots to check the fuel available at starting. It should be a minimum of 40 cc's for this particular model. For the full load speed adjustment test, the test bench is run up to 2,750 RPM, with the throttle lever in the maximum speed position. The fuel delivery is adjusted on the maximum speed screw to give a delivery of between 12 and 18 cc's per 1,000 shots. When the pump is fitted on the engine after servicing or overhaul in the pump room, it may be necessary to bleed the air from the pump. You can bleed the pump from the screw in the centre of the distributor head or from the overflow connection. But be warned, you must never try to remove the three-sided plug in the side of the pump, as major internal damage will certainly result. The maximum fuel screw and the maximum revs or high idle screw will be lock-wired and sealed and must never be altered in the field. The only adjustment which is permitted after the pump has been fitted and correctly timed to the engine is the low idle speed. This can be altered by adjusting this idle speed screw after the engine has reached its normal operating temperature.